Imagine living in a lighthouse, completely isolated, and all you can hear is the sound of waves crashing against the cliff. Working at a lighthouse can be a very challenging task. To start with, lighthouse keepers have to live for months on isolated islands and have very little access to amenities. Even food supplies have to be delivered by boat when the need arises, which means that the only time lighthouse keepers interact with other people is during these routine supply delivery trips. Now, think of this for a moment. If the lighthouse keepers were to face any problems or emergencies, they would be unable to get immediate assistance and would have to face this ordeal by themselves until potential help arrives. This is the chilling story of the Flannan Isle mystery, where 3 lighthouse keepers went missing under very mysterious circumstances. In December 1900, the Hesperus, a ship sailing near the Flannan Isle, was doing a routine check and noted that the lighthouse in the wild islands north of Scotland was dark. This was extremely unusual as lighthouses are manned 24/7, and it was not normal that this particular lighthouse was not in operation despite the presence of 3 lighthouse keepers. 3 men, namely Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur, were the lighthouse keepers assigned to the Eileen Moor, a remote outpost on the Flannan Isle. Upon noting this, Jim Harvey, the captain of the Hesperus, decided to sail to the island to investigate the matter. On the 26th of December 1900, the Hesperus docked at the bottom of a steep cliff on the Flannan Isle. Relief lighthouse keeper Joseph Moore proceeded to climb the 160 steps leading up to the lighthouse. When he opened the door, he found a scene completely frozen in time. The clock was silent, the table was set as if expecting the men, however, there was not a single person in sight. Joseph Moore figured out that something serious had happened, and without looking further, he decided to leave the lighthouse and head back to the Hesperus. On board the Hesperus, 2 sailors decided to join Moore in the investigation. However, the investigation just seemed to deepen the mystery even more. Upon returning to the lighthouse, the 3 men discovered an oilskin, which is usually used by a lighthouse operator in the event of a storm. Locating this oilskin inside the lighthouse meant that one of the keepers had left the lighthouse without wearing the oilskin protection. But why? Why would an experienced lighthouse keeper go into a storm without the protective equipment? There are 2 possible explanations for this. The first explanation is that maybe there was some sort of emergency and one of the keepers had to leave in a rush and forgot to wear the oilskin. The second explanation is that maybe there was no storm at all and the keeper didn't actually need the oilskin. Either way, this finding was very strange and there is no sufficient explanation for this. On the west side of the isle, the men found that the storm had caused severe damage to the surrounding. They found that the iron railings had been bent by the wind and the railway track had been ripped from the concrete. A huge boulder had rolled out of place and they found the supply box smashed on the ground with all the contents spread across on the rocky land. Despite all these findings, there was still no trace of the 3 lighthouse keepers. In his official report, Captain Harvey noted that the east side of the isle was completely untouched, but the west side was completely in ruins. He then made a conclusion that the lighthouse keepers may have been swept by the storm towards the west side of the isle. Robert Muirhead, the lighthouse board superintendent and the man who recruited the 3 lighthouse keepers, also traveled to the isle to conduct his investigation. In his official report, he concluded that the men may have left the lighthouse before dinner to secure some ropes and supplies, and while working, a large wave hit the west side of the isle and swept the men away. The official report did not end the speculation and seemed to just deepen the mystery, and in the years after their tragic disappearance, rumors surrounding the lighthouse keepers simply intensified. According to the story, a logbook was found inside the lighthouse with very strange entries. In these entries, one of the keeper, Thomas Marshall, wrote about their despair during the storm and even indicated that the storm had ended on December 15th. However, if the storm had ended before the last entry, then what happened to the lighthouse keepers? Despite these claims, no evidence of these entries have surfaced. According to the official report, the last entry on the logbook was for the 13th of December, and there was some notes about the weather on the morning of the 15th of December. Another anomaly is that a steamship sailing near the outpost around midnight on the 15th of December noticed that the lighthouse was dark but did not submit an official report to the commissioners. This meant that the disappearance of the lighthouse keepers was only noted on the 26th of December by the Hesperus during its routine check, nearly 11 days after the steamship had noted that there was a problem. The question is then, why was the search delayed for this long? Many theories have surfaced, including large sea serpents and violence among the lighthouse keepers, but none of them have been proven. The bodies of the lighthouse keepers have never been found, and for over 120 years, this mystery remains unsolved. What are your thoughts about the story? Let me know in the comment section down below, and as always, do not forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so I can keep creating similar interesting content. Until next time.